October 6th?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
What you want for your birthday?
I want one of those.
No, you don't.
I want an intentional gift, and that's an intentional gift.
No, it's not.
What you mean the little?
It's
I don't got to keep doing it with my hands every time I got to redo.
Look, so I hit somebody up and I was like, "Yo, my audio ain't lining up. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Do you not clap?" I said, "Clap what?" Oh. He said, "Clap," which is what you do. And then so finally, let me tell you how I got it. I'm doing a podcast at my house at this time. Yeah. My wife got tired of me clapping.
Bro.
So she was like, "Oh, I just hear you clapping all upstairs and it's getting on my nerves."
Right.
And so the director's cut, But I had somebody, I'm not going to say their name, so I don't have to bleep
I'm hollering because part of me was like this. Look, you should have seen me.
They wrote all over the director's cut when they was renting a podcast studio, and they didn't use.
No, don't tell me they use permanent.
So I was able to get some of it off. Look at this.
That's his name can't erase.
I said, this not even yours. I said, oh.
Now his name is still on it.
Still on it. I'm like, bro, you should have just took it home.
I wonder who did it. Meanwhile, can't erase.
Oh, yeah.
No. We didn't say it. You didn't say it though.
Yeah, it could be anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It can be Ohavia on there. What's up?
Right. My brother, I'm so proud of you. I love me some you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Y'all, I'm not just saying this too. I'm really fangirling because I love me some PIE, okay? I love me some pie. I love me some pie.
Yeah,
no, but all jokes aside, like I'm just such a fan of yours, Gavin. And so funny. Life is real full circle because you meet people and then it comes back around.
Absolutely.
I'm a fan. I'm happy to be here.
I told one of my friends today, she called me. She was like, "What are you doing? Where you at?" I was like, "I'm at the studio. Ohavia coming through." She said, "Oh, I'm tuning in. I'm ready already." I thought she was gonna pull up because she's one of those types. Like she was upset. She had just started a new job, and so when your class was going on, which we'll talk about, she was mad she wasn't there for that. And then so
we running it back.
She hit me back up later. She was like, "How the class going?" I was like, "It's great."
Yeah.
I said, "We got another one, tonight or whatever." She was like, "Dang." She said, "So is she gonna do it again?" I said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure." I said, I can't speak on it, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh, perfect. Tell her I'll be there."
Yeah.
So see, she's running it back.
I love you. We're running it back.
So first of all, a lot of people that's listening, they don't know who you are, what you do, where you from. What is your name?
Yes.
And where are you from? Let's start there.
You know what? Yes. Hello, familia. I am Ohavia Phillips from Brooklyn, New York, but I reside in the impeccable Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know why I'm giving like MC-like vibes. And then you tapping that thing, so it's giving like I'm about to start rapping.
I did gunshots, but don't worry about it.
Y'all,
don't worry about it.
To know me is to know I really love that. I'm Jamaican, happy, proud Caribbean, also Afro-Latina. And I do all things media. So here in the city of Charlotte, all things media. I used to work at Spectrum News, a local newsroom here. Loved it, but I wasn't getting what I wanted. And so I just decided to quit. So I still remember the date, October 8th, 2018. I sent that text, bro. I ain't even sent a letter. Did I ever tell you that? Okay.
All right, so you told me that, but I thought you was lying because we'll talk about when we first met you. But you was making too many jokes, so I was like, I don't know if she being funny with me or she just funny.
No, I legitimately, wholeheartedly, in Jesus' name, sent a text.
Why you sent a text?
Quitting. Because here's the thing, like, I'm not about to be at a job or at an establishment, a part of an organization, and I just don't believe in the vision, the mission, and, and when you try for so long, you get to a point where you're like, you know what? If I literally have nothing to lose, I'm going out with a bang.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like after years of trying and advocating for self and like wanting more and wanting to see more, after a while, you get a little tired. And I also was a little baby, but I was real young. And, it was my first big girl job.
Yeah.
So now looking back, wouldn't recommend it because you never know. At least I had a nice spiritual lick. But, I don't want y'all having to like go around and get blackballed behind something. So never burn your bridges. But yeah, no, I was just young, first big girl job. And that was just the only way I knew how to handle that. So sent a text, said thanks for everything, and I'm out. And that's, put that on the t-shirt. Thanks for everything, and I'm out. And I would never forget. I remember coworker texting like, "Did you really send that?" And I was like, "Oh, you heard. The girls are talking."
You don't want to know what I'm hitting. Don't worry about it. Look.
So I don't know who need to hit this. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, so don't text. Well, I didn't even text when I quit. I quit one job.
Yeah.
I didn't even text. I'm mad because I cleaned up my office. And
Why
so,
you ain't leaving messy? See?
because I wanted to make sure I didn't leave no evidence behind. So I had to start
that's
cleaning.
real talk.
Yeah, like literally because, all right, if I ever go back to a 9 to 5, please don't hold this moment, this audio, this video, even though every time you put something on the internet, it's there forever. All right. I was the king of working on my photography on somebody else's dime. So I used to be at work editing pictures, writing down clients. I had contracts at my job. Like I was working. That's why I was
doing
so
your
effective.
work at they work.
Absolutely. And making sure.
Not judging.
Look, and so I cleaned up. My boss wasn't there. And I went to the administrator.
Yeah.
And I've been knowing her since I started. So I've been knowing her, a great time. And I looked and she said, "You quitting, ain't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she was an older white woman. She said, "Whenever they clean up their desk in silence, they quitting." And she busts out laughing. And I was like, "I'm sorry." She said, "Baby."
She said,
"Go
"Babe."
live." She said, "Baby, go live."
Go live.
And I dipped out.
Yeah.
And I gave her the key.
Yeah.
I said, "Look, I didn't delete no company information,
Yeah.
even though I could.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't do enough security around here." I said,
That's a conversation though, real talk.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some certain companies, you can see where they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when it comes to their security, you can definitely see like, and it's like, yo, I'm saving y'all butt so much.
Yep.
And so I dipped out, and then, so, it was funny though.
See?
So hold on. Where did you go to school at?
Okay, so I went to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Go 49ers.
Shout out to UNCC. I was there as well.
Period.
I graduated from there. Y'all
Yeah.
gonna start listening to me like, he ain't graduated. Yeah,
Class of 2015.
I was 11.
Oh, wow, Gavin.
Yeah, so we just missed each
Yeah,
other.
no, seriously.
Yeah, I was there. I studied computer software.
Yeah.
You studied.
Oh, mass communication and journalism.
Absolutely.
Come on.
So you left there.
Yes.
First of all right. We're gonna Charlotte this pot out a little bit.
No, let's do it, please.
So you're at UNCC.
Yeah.
The football team comes while you're there, correct? Or is it?
No, bro. So I didn't even really have the opportunity to like get into it. I think it was literally the year after me.
Okay. Yeah.
The stadium was being built while I was there.
Okay.
But when I tell you, bro, I was like, of course. When we leaving,
Look.
come on, Charlotte.
Look, they told us, they said, we have approved a football team. My mama called me so fast.
Yeah.
You better graduate.
Yeah.
Tuition is going to go up.
No, seriously.
I graduated the next semester because I was about to change my major. And my mom was like, get up out of there.
No, I'm so glad.
I can't even tell y'all, but let me tell you this before we go there.
Yeah.
Photographers, stop going to the botanical garden at UNCC and leaving trash. I'm going to need that. That is something I need y'all to stop doing because they are charging people. They're about to ban photographers because y'all going in there with the confetti.
Yes.
Not the organic.
No.
The biodegradable.
Yeah. Y'all going in there with the silly string that isn't
silly. It's silly. And you just spraying it everywhere, and then they hitting us up. Hey, do you got a permit? I was not.
No, Gavin.
They ran up on me one time. Was like, hey, you got your paperwork?
And it wasn't always like that.
It wasn't. And then so I went back to my car. I waited till they left, and I went back, and that was fine.
Okay.
You got to break.
Sweet lick, photography lick.
Absolutely, that was a tip for y'all. All right, so let's talk about the first time we met.
Yes.
And I want you to walk us through. I guess you kind of gave us your background. So we first met. Shout out to Cassie.
Shout out to Cassie. I love her.
Love her. She's amazing. She's always trying to help.
Yes, I love Cassie.
Every time I see Cassie, she's trying to help somebody.
She is.
And so Cassie's like, hey, I'm doing this girl's makeup. Can you please just do some headshots? I'm like, Cassie, whatever.
Yeah. No, but he really did say, all right, whatever.
Didn't I tell you somebody else was going to call?
Is Jesus on the main line?
It's my sister.
Hey, sis.
Sis, I'm sorry I don't have you connected. Because if you was connected, I would have answered it on air. So Cassie's there, and you walk up. And I'm like, all right. Mm-hmm. And she's doing your makeup. So I'm talking trash. Everybody that know if I shoot with you, I'm talking trash.
Y'all, he was so funny. And that was the first of the many things I loved about Gavin. I was like, I need this energy all the time.
Look, and then I'm mad.
He was really funny.
And I was like, okay, she making jokes back. I don't know if she's serious. It's like this her personality. And Cassie got that weird laugh that she does where you don't know if like it's really throwing me off if you were serious or not. Yeah. Because Cassie looking at you and she'll laugh too.
Yeah, no.
But she does like
my sis will laugh.
She'll be like, and I'm like, Cassie, I'm like, wink if everything is cool.
Yeah.
And she just kept laughing. And so then I realized, I'm like, okay. So I started following you. And then I found out you was a big deal. The amount of people that have came to me I did a shoot literally with a young lady, and I said, what are you doing? She's telling me stuff. She was like, all right, Gavin. I really just want to be what Ohavia is doing. I really want to just be her. I'm just trying to figure it out. And it threw me off during the shoot because I didn't know you that well because I had just shot you a couple times. And she was like, look, she has it going on. And this girl has a amazing personality as well. So I understood the correlation. But I just want to let you know before we get started, people are watching you. They are very much paying attention. And you are inspiring a lot of people.
I'm not going to lie. It's taken a lot for me not to tear up. Because, look at me, you know the swallow before you cry. Y'all, look. No, because, you know, when I think about, and when I met you too, right? I'm going to let you finish that though, because it's going to make sense for the people. But even when I met you, I was like going through it. Like, just left the job.
Yep.
Broke. You know what I'm saying? I broke in, but definitely was broke. And so like now to hear it, when you get something out the mud and you keep your head low all the time, because you know you're constantly building. Every time I hear that, I literally was tearing up. I was like, I have chills.
Look,
thank you.
Amazing.
I love
y'all. I just want you to know that. All right. So we got an interesting topic.
Yes.
And I'm gonna background it and then I'm gonna push you to do your thing. I was telling you off mic, I said I run into a lot of entrepreneurs, especially photography. Shout out to the No More Pie fam. We was supposed to do an intro, but we passed that now, so we be good.
Love y'all.
Yes, thank you. And so, so let's do it like this. If this is your first time listening, welcome. If this is your last time listening, at least you got to hear Ohavia. Thank you. And I want to welcome everybody. This is a photography podcast for Black and Brown creatives.
Black and Brown creatives.
When I started off, I wanted to create something for Black people. And as y'all know, it was something great. It was something fun.
Yeah.
Until I talked to my wife and she said, what about brown people? Because nobody's speaking to us. So that is why we're focusing on that. And the other thing I loved about you, you said it on the first time we met. You spoke about being Latinx, and I thought that was so beautiful, so amazing.
Thank you.
And I went home, and then so, you know, the reason why that spoke to me so much is because I'm having a son that's Black and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, I need spaces that he can thrive in.
Yeah.
You know, me and my wife, when she, you know, we always laugh, but when she got pregnant, she said, look, I want my kid to know he's Puerto Rican. I want my kid to know he's Black.
Yeah.
And to embrace both cultures.
Absolutely.
And let's push it.
Absolutely.
And so you're that, you know what I'm saying?
Thank
and
you, bro.
you show that to us. So, and you're from Brooklyn. So hold on, gunshots.
Okay, let me tell you, give me some. I got down a little bit. I didn't know. Shout out to the home team. Shout out to Brooklyn, Canarsie. Shout out to East New York. I'm sorry, I got to do this because it matters.
And you put the voice on.
Yeah, no, you got what? Absolutely. Shout out to Canarsie. Shout out to Crown Heights. Shout out to East New York. I see you, baby. Blake Avenue, we up.
All right. So, to all my creators out there, we're getting in a space where social media is making us.
Ooh.
You have to now live and dive into being yourself online.
Absolutely.
And it's making people that's not extroverted attempt at least or show that, hey, I have to be, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to talk because you had a class at CPCC. Shout out to them. I went there as well. And so
I didn't know that. You really are my brother. Well, you were before, but now it's getting for real.
Well, I don't want to be in class like, hey, I went to CP and UNCC with you as well. But
no, you know, I love that though.
Nah, you was doing the class. You was up there professional.
Oh my gosh,
you
thanks,
was making
bro.
jokes. You was reading the comments.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that too. Because I'm going to talk about y'all.
Not R, you know we is.
Look, I'm going to talk about y'all doggone Zoom classes. And y'all, it be recordings that be pissing me off. But that's a whole nother side. Y'all not going to get me today. So, all right. You talked about in class.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're branding yourself, and then sometimes you're branding your business.
Yes.
Some of us, like myself, like yourself, you have to do both, and it's confusing. Can you talk about the importance of literally branding yourself and branding your business, or at least branding yourself alongside your business?
Bro, when I tell you I love this question so much, and so familiar, just to like backtrack so you know that really media is my life. So went to UNC Charlotte, undergrad, mass comm, journalism, went to grad school, got a master's in crisis comm PR.
Amazing.
And literally almost about to pursue my doctorate. I got to be sure, y'all, because it's a whole, oh, Jesus. I mean, I'll take an honorary, sweet Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is a big check. So seeking and excited to soon explore getting my doctorate. And it will definitely be in business administration, but a focus in public relations. So y'all, media is my life. It's what I do. worked 4 years for a local newsroom, and now, now 4 years as a creativepreneur. And I'm also an educator that teaches media. And my 9 to Thrive is I'm an account executive for the communications, marketing, and public relations team at Central Piedmont Community College. So if you're talking a girl who loves media, who does this, who eats, sleeps, and breathes, Gavin knows this is my jam, but what's even more my jam is giving free game, okay? So what I want all of the familia to understand, all of the PIE familia to understand is it's okay to separate. Personally, I would say 10 out of 10 separate, because I don't want y'all to learn the hard way like me when you're burnt out. And the Saints want you to always dance and sing, and you like, wait, who am I today, right? So 10 out of 10, I would recommend that you, they like, where the knees at? And you're like, I thought I was just speaking today.
Am I flying or dying?
No, seriously, it's real talk. And so, it's a very dangerous line a little bit when brands want to be the face and also the brand. So I would never tell y'all nothing that I don't do. So I separated it. So I am Ohavia Phillips. And then I have the O Show, but now we are under a new name, Beautiful People with Ohavia Phillips.
There we go.
So the reason why I absolutely recommend that you do that is because one of two things is, one, when it comes down to getting them checks, you don't want nothing holding back your money, right? So what was happening to me was, because technically my business is the O Show LLC, I was doing business as Ohavia Phillips. When I would get a check, it would say Ohavia Phillips. Yeah. Now, what happens to those checks, friends, when you try to cash it in a business account? You're not getting that bread. They're going to hold it for about 2-3 weeks or more, right? Yeah. So then I had to go roundabout way to get a DBA. Even though it worked out in my favor, I ain't going to lie. I was like, I'm putting this in a curriculum, because if I could tell any of the familia, like, this is just, don't do it, right? So 10 out of 10 would recommend you separate for financials, but also separate because you got to protect your creative energy. So the truth is, you're not going to be the name of your talk show, the name of your photography studio, the name of your podcast every day. Sometimes you're just going to be. Yeah. And being opens doors, right? So another reason why you want to separate is, what if there's an opportunity to be a keynote, but they don't want the whole essence of what you bring. They just want you to speak. Yeah. Or what if an opportunity comes to be an educator or even an ambassador, and instead of bringing all of that you bring, including your business, just be yourself. So 10 out of 10 recommend separating, because it just saves you creative energy. It opens more doors. And when we talk financials, it's just easier. It's better. Not saying you can't get a DBA, but it just makes it better for everybody.
Absolutely. When did you know you needed to separate yourself from the brand and start yourself as a brand? Because some people don't know when. Yeah. And some people just ride it out. And then some people just start early and they don't really understand, like, hey, when did you realize, like, all right, I do need to do, Beautiful People by Ohavia Phillips versus, all right, now I'm just Ohavia Phillips.
Yes. So literally, by the way, questions are on fire. When I tell you, I never was asked this, like, why separating Ohavia Phillips from Beautiful People. So one of the main reasons why is because I started getting tons of opportunity, opportunity to do keynote speaking and educating. So I noticed that the climate was shifting for me. Where they would call, hey, Ohavia, could you come speak to my class? Hey, Miss Ohavia, could you come educate on using social media and it as a medium to, like, get important information across? Yeah. Hey, can you consult? And so what was happening was, here I was spinning my wheels, and I love my talk show, don't get me wrong, it's my heartbeat, right? Yeah. But here I was spinning my wheels, making it everything, when the people, they wanted that, but they also wanted to know, okay, you actually got this out the mud, you actually did it, can you help us, right? Yeah. And then that opened the floodgate of, like, meeting people in amazing places, in amazing companies. And I'm talking like the big bosses, like the big gal, big boy them, big gal, big boy them in high places. Shout out to my Jamaican, shout out to the family, right? No, but seriously, like, it opens so many doors. It opens so many doors for me to educate and meet people in amazing spaces who wanted me to consult, work with them, be a partner, be an ambassador. So that's when I knew, I said, you know what, we know you love your talk show, but maybe instead of making it a weekly thing, do like a one in August, so one in the fall, one in the summer, and that way you have the free time to educate, because I love doing that.
I could tell.
Consulting and all that.
It was amazing being in your class, seeing that, I'm actually learning something. I was up there taking notes.
Wow, that means a lot, Gavin.
But I'm up there because I wanted to, all right, I'm going to give you this. So this is before the pandemic, everything. I have like 700 followers on Instagram. And so I was like, I want to break 1,000. Yeah. So I just started acting crazy, acting stupid, making jokes, laughing, being myself.
Being yourself, though.
And so I'm doing all this, and it's fun, it's great. And then I'm like, well, I just want to see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
And so, being the person, looking the way I look, you know what I'm saying? Actually being a black man, being a photographer.
Yeah.
I had brands reaching out. Stuff like that was going on. And so I was like, yo, I could really move this because I knew I had wanted to start this, right? Yeah. And I was like, I want to take this somewhere. I said, but I don't want my photography business to always be, hey, can we get Gavin Bowear Photography to show up? Nah. You just need me.
You just need me.
My LLC, whatever. And so I was going through this part of, hey, that's when I started my brand stuff. And then I have just me. And so now I took your class is because I was like, who else I'm learning this from? So I signed up and I'm actually learning stuff. Wow. And so when I'm in there, I could see, you taking questions before we get started, while we're getting started. You wasn't ending class until, and I was just
all questions was answered, by the way.
Absolutely. And then it was like one of those things where, and then, we did the panel discussion at the end, and I was like, you could tell when somebody's like, hey, I'm up here for a cool opportunity, or, hey, I want to be here.
Yeah.
And then you was trying to make me eat before the panel discussion.
I was, y'all. We went all out. Like I got chicken tenders.
Yeah,
fruit.
you was like, oh, you just not gonna eat now? I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, excuse me. This is what I do for my students.
Yeah, but I had to, I ate before I got there.
Everybody don't eat before they come.
Oh my gosh, I'm so over you.
Everybody don't eat before they come.
So let me ask you this. Sometimes people don't need to separate. Yeah. Sometimes you don't need to separate yourself from your brand.
Yeah.
When is that going to happen? When is that applicable?
I love that. So the truth is that everybody, here's the thing too, y'all. I'm not saying that this is even etched in stone. I'm just saying what I find is it works for me if we're discussing like expanding your capacity and your bandwidth to do more and also to reach that level and scale on the way where you're working with so many amazing media companies, right? But the truth is not everybody has to do this. The only thing I will say, for me, one of the many, I'm sure, circumstances where people don't separate is when it really is what you do, right? So say you came on the scene and it was a group of y'all and the whole group are podcasters, or you came on the scene and y'all are a collective.
Yeah.
Truth is if you break out from the collective, it's giving Destiny's Child early on, right? So you want to be intentional about. Listen, look, we have real talk here.
Clearly,
we have real talk here.
I'm never having a talk show host on again.
Because the truth is bro, people join collectives early on in media game because the truth is I love a good collective, right?
Okay.
I have a few that are my favorites. When I think of Jack of all spades, right? When I think, we'll be here all day. When I think of yours, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if you came in the media game and this is what you all established, honor that establishment. I think you should honor that commitment. When you are a part of a collective and it's giving very much like main character.
Yeah. Time to go.
A little bit, because here's the thing, right? People are interacting with media, but the truth is they're interacting with personalities. And true or false on this one, and I really want you to vote.
Okay.
Say you had a collective and it was your favorite person and they left. Are you still supporting that media?
No, I'm going to be upset.
Correct.
Yeah.
So now, not only did you pretty much kind of burn a little bit of your bridge before you got started, because now the people want to know, well, why did you leave if it was going so well? We didn't know, we didn't tell. But then also, too, for the collective, how they're used to receiving your media, it's not working. So I think for me, one of the many, I'm sure, there's other media professionals that could pull up and share their 2 cents. But for me, it's like, if you are part of a collective and it's not tumultuous and y'all are actually growing, I think that you should see it through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I look at it as like, you got to understand what's your responsibility.
Yeah.
And everybody has to play their part.
Yes.
And sometimes it's ways to work around it. Let's say you're a part of a collective or I'm a part of a collective, right? And let's say something's going on, I just can't. Maybe I can have somebody to help me and assist me so my part can still be taken care of. Because a lot of people don't understand that it is relationship based, right? If Ohavia is there and I'm there because I love her, I'm gaining something off of her, and it don't have to be like what you give. Yeah. Sometimes you get emotionally attached to somebody and you don't know that you're fulfilling a void that I have.
Talk.
And I'm able to strive and be better because you're fulfilling that, and then you just dip for no reason, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not even always bad. Sometimes people are like, I want to pursue and see what I could do for myself. Yeah. Yes, but there's even etiquette and a way to do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
To me.
So I got a question for you. So you talked about how, when I first met you, you was going through a career change. Yeah. The money wasn't You was broke but not broken.
Praise him.
That's on a t-shirt.
Okay.
That's gonna be the name of this
put that
episode.
on a t-shirt.
Put it
Broke
on a
but not
t-shirt.
broken. No, but for real. That broke but not broken. Well, I like that. Me gusta.
Sound like a sermon.
Me gusta.
Somebody. Our Pentecostal grandmothers are gonna make
Facts,
sure.
but remember you heard it here first.
Absolutely.
Folks. You heard it here first.
So you was going through all these changes.
Yeah.
And money wasn't coming in.
No.
How were you? Because let me tell you this.
I could laugh now. Yo, I was mad skinny. It was crazy. I was scared.
All right, podcast episode is over.
Yo, I was hungry.
Shut up. I'm so done with her. So the joke is,
Yeah.
I'm in the bed, and I told you this, and I'm in the bed, and my wife, we and her was talking about something. I was like, yo, I'm about to unfollow Ohavia. She was like, why? I said, she's the only person on my thread, and I see everything she do, and I said, I'm over here liking it, and so my wife goes, so why are you unfollowing her again? I was like, I don't know. I said, I just need to start liking other people. I said, because every time I see her post, she actually motivates me to go work.
Yeah.
Right? And my wife's like, so I'm gonna ask you again, why are you about to unfollow? I said, I don't know.
Shout out to my Hermana. What's up?
And I said, her working correctly should not make me upset. And it didn't. But it was just that short thing. And it's one of those things where I was like, she making me get up.
Yeah.
She's making me say, all right, now I gotta go make a reel. Now I need to make sure I'm on top of my business. Now I need to let people know that, hey, I'm still a photographer, because some of y'all still don't know I take pictures. That's another subject.
Well, okay.
People really be thinking I'm just a podcaster.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like, no, this don't pay no bills.
No,
I'm just here for fun. And so,
what?
Look, it's funny what people think makes you money, and you be like,
you have no idea.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
Like, people.
Now, that's a separate episode.
Look, for all y'all that want to start a podcast, and literally I had somebody hit me up, was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. How do I find sponsors? I was like,
sweet baby. Oh, sweet baby.
I said, if you're starting a podcast to make money, you probably shouldn't start it.
No, I was just about to say, and I said this in class too, bro, true or false. I said, right now, before we start this class, I want to be clear. If you going to ask me anything about money, you can leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all, and this is no cap. I was like, you can leave, because I don't want to normalize always leading with money, especially in media, because the truth is it's going to be a lot of coming out of pocket. And we don't talk about that enough. Well, actually we do, but I need for the saints to hear us.
So how do you build up, you get this view that, hey, I'm running a big brand, or I'm developing a big brand on a small budget. Because a lot of people that's listening, they want to do their marketing. They want to showcase themselves. They want to, market their brand. Yeah. But their money is funny.
I understand, because
help us out.
That face.
Please help us. Help us.
Help us. So, y'all, I get it, because that was totally me. So 10 out of 10 would recommend, the first thing that you need to do is get tapped in with Fiverr. You absolutely need Fiverr. I love to give strategy. You need Fiverr, because the truth is based off of your budget, you can actually get some amazing digital assets, branding assets, logos, and all the things made for you, right? So one of my favorite things is, I remember one time when I was starting out, I was like, okay, I need a logo. Went to Fiverr. I kid you not. I hit a lick, $20 for a logo. Now, it was very simple, but what I did was I took that and I built off of it too, right? So 10 out of 10 would recommend you got to go ahead and get your Fiverr and be honest about your financial situation. Listen, I was honest about mine. When I first did my Show live, the very first ever live I had, we sold out. The volunteers was my homies. Amazing. The people who was registering, checking registrants, who was giving out pins and putting things under the seats, were my homies.
Amazing.
I couldn't afford to pay them. That's real talk. Yeah. But they was like, Ohavia, we believe in this. All we asked for was a t-shirt. And what's crazy is I'm like, right? And then that became a brand in itself, because I was giving the homies amazing merch. And at the time I only had t-shirts. Yeah. Then you started seeing them pop up around Charlotte. Then people started being on my neck about, I want a t-shirt.
I need a shirt.
I was like, y'all really want these amazing shirts, right?
Absolutely.
So I chased the squirrel to say all that, to say that it's okay. We've been there. So get Fiverr. 2 is rock your own product, bro. I can't stress this enough. Woo. People don't know. I was wearing my own product, the Amazing. It was a plain black t-shirt, white writing. I wore that every day for 2 years.
Amazing.
While I was working at the coffee house, because that's a part of my story. While I was gigging, while I would be out, y'all, when I tell you, and every time I would get stopped, what is that? What's amazing? What's that? Look, tell me more.
I got a side question.
Yeah.
But don't forget where we at.
No, not at all.
As a, what you call it, creativepreneur?
Creativepreneur.
What was like the weirdest side job you had, or fun, or just random side job you had? You mentioned a coffee house. Because people don't understand. People think, oh, I'm quitting my 9 to 5, and tomorrow the Ohavia show, it's going to, I'm going to be making, six figures the next day.
I definitely thought that.
And so, like, for me, I was like, leave my job, right?
Right.
I'm doing photography, and I was an Uber driver.
Yeah.
And so, but it was fun.
Yes.
I used to have fun in the car.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
one of my favorite models, that young lady who's right there on the far right, she was a rider.
Yeah.
She got in the car, Chris Brown was playing, and then Drake came on second. She said, yo, you depressed. I said, no, you didn't get in my car. I'm depressed.
Yo, you depressed, you straight?
That's what she said.
Right.
And I was like, what's your name? And she told me her name. She was like, you should follow me, I'll model. I said, well, I take pictures. She said, boy, you lying. And then me and her been rocking ever since.
Stop.
And so what was your random job?
Y'all ain't gonna judge me, right?
Yes.
The most random job. It wasn't the...
Let me get it ready. Go ahead.
Okay. So I got to sit up for this one. It wasn't the coffee house. I loved both the coffee houses I worked at. Actually, the most awkward, weird job was when I worked at a Dollar Tree. Because I remember I was like, okay, I just need this real quick to, because one thing about Ohavia, she gonna hustle. Because if I got a dream, I gotta fund that dream.
Absolutely.
And, I don't care what it takes. Of course, it's gonna be within proper discretion.
Absolutely.
And it's not gonna cost my family, our name.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what, boom. So I pulled up to the Dollar Tree, y'all. I worked there for a day. I was supposed to be doing social media for them. I worked there for a day. And I literally was like...
She donated time. She volunteered at Dollar Tree.
I did. And you know what? Let me tell you how for real. Like, I'm the realist. Literally, when I meet people, I'm like, listen, even if our seasons are not supposed to be, I'm still going to leave and bless. I'm going to leave something and I'm going to bless them, period. So I left them the whole social media calendar. I left them the ideas that I had for them. And I was like, even if it's not me, I want y'all to execute. But I'm sorry, I think I took this prematurely because I needed something. But, and they were super sweet. And they were like, we believe in you, oh.
So... How many hours did you volunteer at the Dollar Tree? Because I'm not calling that a job.
Bro, I kid you not. Applied on Indeed. First mistake. And you got to read the summary, friends. If you go on Indeed, read the summary bullet line by line, precept by precept.
Please. And then confirm it once you get them on the phone.
Please. So literally a day. I kid you not. It was a day.
So you did your 8 hours?
I did.
Oh, that's good.
Because my mama raised me. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, again, y'all, I was a little baby in the game. News was my first big girl job. So let's talk about building up professional etiquette as well, right? Yeah. So I didn't have that. Full transparency, I didn't have it. I didn't know, you're supposed to give a letter when you're leaving. And I'm tired, I'm out.
Texting.
I'm tired, I'm out. I'm going to text. Or in my case, literally toward the end of the shift at Dollar Tree, I said, listen, I love what y'all have going on here.
Lying.
I'm going to leave you with this.
Lying.
I'm going to leave you with this.
Lying.
And I left them, un poquito, it was a lie. And I left them with all the social media plans that we discussed, because again, just because it ain't me doesn't mean it can't be someone else. So
absolutely. All right, back to big dreams, small budget.
Right, big dreams, small budget. So all my family out there, one is you want to get with Fiverr.
I'm still stuck on Dollar Tree. Go ahead,
bro. No, and there's more to it. I just didn't know how much I could really tell. Because y'all, when it's going in the book, because there's so many funny stories. Even on my way there that day, I was like, okay, this is obviously a sign. God want me to focus on media, and I'm being hard-headed because I'm chasing after money, which is where I get never, ever, ever lead with money. You'll set yourself up every time.
Absolutely. Do what you love. Money will follow.
Let me be a living testimony.
Look.
Lift your hands.
No,
but yes, so 1, 2. Bam. Lean to the side. So the first thing is you want to get with a Fiverr.com.
Absolutely.
Or whatever app that could be, right? So let's be clear, like there are so many amazing apps and ways to get your logos, things off the ground. 10 out of 10, do your research, whatever works for you, get
Absolutely.
that. Second is you got to rock your own product. You want people to put respect on a business. You want people to put respect on your brand, your name. You don't even do that. And I had to have a reality check with myself, like, oh, you want people to see you as this talk show host. You want people to see you as this host and this interviewer and how much you love media. We can't tell, sis. So I kid you not, didn't have a lot of bread. It was from all my tips at the coffee house. I saved it, and I only made like 50 shirts. And I kid you not, I wore all 50. Sold some out the trunk. That Canarsie came out of me real quick.
You're a rapper.
No, I really am, low-key. When it comes to the hustle.
You said it off the mic, and you saying it again. So
no, for real. One thing about me, I'm a hustle. So literally, sometimes, and you know what I would love is all of my like regulars would come in, oh, I want my shirt. Would sell it out my trunk. And I wore it every day for 2 years, y'all. So you got to wear your product. And last but not least is you got to get outside. I don't know who need to hear this. I'm an extrovert, if y'all can't tell. Don't do me like that. I love people. obviously, but like you gotta go outside. So for all my introverts, you are blessed to be an introvert. You are blessed to be cognizant of your energy and people and time. I love it. Y'all inspire me to actually be more cognizant myself. I also would love to inspire you to get outside. For all my extroverts, you don't need to be everywhere.
Ooh, woo. Hold on.
The lesson is for everybody. The lesson is for everybody. The lesson is for everybody. I don't know who did this. For all my blessed introverts, listen, absolutely, you want to mind your energy, your time, and where you go, but you got to get outside because how are people going to get to know you?
Absolutely.
And be intentional even about where you go, right? So here's easy giveaways. If you got to pay for a ticket, go.
Absolutely.
If it's free, not saying that it doesn't have impact.
Yeah.
But it's something about when you're sowing an amount into that business, that brand, that conference, whatever it is, the energy is different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Absolutely.
So yeah, introverts, get outside. I love you. Extroverts, learn from me. You don't need to be everywhere. You got to protect that brand, baby. You don't need to be in everybody's face. You don't need to be partnering with everybody. You don't need to be ambassadoring for everybody. You don't need to be outside all the time.
They'll set you up.
You will get set up.
I have a homegirl.
You will get set up. No
I can't mess up her bag. But all right, I had a homegirl.
We don't even have to, I'll put me on the chopping block before I put somebody. But
no.
I got stories for days if y'all want to hear any.
No, she's popping on the gram, like very popping. And I remember I sat with her and I was telling her about the podcast, and she goes, "Be careful where your brand goes." And I was like, why? Yes. Oh, okay. Lala Milan, that's who it is. Yes. And I'm going to alter the story. Yes. So me and her was sitting there and we're talking. She said, "Be careful where your brand goes." And I go, "Why?" And she said, "Sometimes people put you in a room because they know they can make fun of you.
Yeah.
They can use your community. Yeah. And they are just there to use you for what you have, and they don't care nothing about you, what you got going on." And she told me about how somebody was going to put her on TV.
Yeah.
And she said she gets there and they switched the whole outlook of the script of everything, and it was to embarrass her. And she said, "They have my money. They have the script that is totally altered when I got there." Whoa. And she said, "I don't know what to do."
Yeah.
And she said she got on the phone. She talked to her agent. Her agent said, "Get up out of there.
Get up. Get out."
And then she told me, she said, the reason why I got up out of there because she said what it was for a reality TV show. Yeah. And it was false. Yeah. You know how
First of all,
me and you didn't talk about reality shows.
Now reality shows ain't reality. Come on, y'all.
Look,
come on.
And she said, "Gavin," she said, "you see how many people came up to me today?" She said, "What if I had to explain that lie that's on reality TV?" She said, "You gotta be careful where your brand is at and where it goes." Yes. And that stuck with me in that conversation. So it's amazing you said it. All right, so we gotta be on Fiverr. We gotta wear our merch. Yes. We gotta be careful about our energy, but we gotta be outside, but be in the right places.
You gotta be in the right places. And I don't know who sold us this lie, but I was a part of that generation where you gotta network, but don't make it gross. Okay, you don't have to be everywhere, familia. Let me tell you, I've gotten some of the biggest opportunities being inside or being someplace strategically.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be everywhere. And to be honest, it's a risk when you're everywhere.
Absolutely.
Because now, what if you don't know what this event for real is about? And you know what? Shout out to her. I absolutely adore her. She's amazing. I haven't had a chance to meet her, but she's great. But I'm glad that she shared that because, sometimes I be talking to even like the babies in media because I love them. They're my heart. And they're like, "Miss, I want to go here." I'm like, let me tell you something. Let me shave off 29 years of your life.
Yeah.
Okay? That is a lie from the pit. You do not have to be everywhere. So y'all, that. And also too, if you are creative on a budget, being honest about your budget. I told y'all, I'm a very upfront person, as y'all could tell. I told the homies, I said, let me tell you something. I don't got it to pay you, but when I do, you won't have to ask.
Look.
Now I'm hitting everybody cash app, right? Look. But seriously, you
already did it.
Don't jump
it.
Me.
We are.
I'm hitting everybody's PayPal.
The whole class, we're jumping as soon as this podcast is released.
My class is somewhere like, but didn't she tell me? Yeah, I did. I made a mistake. No, but seriously, like, in every opportunity I get, I want to pay my homies. I want to invest in my homies. And also, too, for all of my creatives on a budget, I need you to understand that there is more capital than money. There is more to the word capital, to the essence of capital than money. Let me tell y'all something. I have gotten $1 million worth of connections, resources, and seriously, like relationships. Haven't hit 1 million yet, but when I tell you I already made it in my relationships, I'm about to be Jay-Z with the relationships.
Hold on.
Because when I tell you I'm
Gunshots.
so blessed to be connected and serve alongside some amazing people. So if I could, for real, lean on anything, never lead with money. But especially, y'all, I need you to understand there's more capital than just money. There's social capital. Every time you're in a place, they allow you to come in. They'll give you discounts. There's just different ways to go around it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You ever deal with being burnt out with being in different places, even though you're very strategic?
Yeah.
Like, is there ever that time when you be like, all right, I need to sit down, go in the house and just get low? Just because it can be stressful. You going out, first of all, you recognizable. You are at the right places. You know what I'm saying? And
Thank you, brother.
And it could be one of those things where it's like, hey, all right, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Because some days I imagine you have to, I'm using air quotes with, you have to be on.
Yeah.
And you don't want to give off the wrong energy when you meet somebody. Because you're human. You be tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you ever have those issues?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. Not as much anymore because the advice that I give, literally, the advice that I gave y'all is what helped me. But when I tell y'all, I was down bad for a little bit trying to like find my way in media, being everywhere. Actually, I got a story to tell you. So one time I was hosting an event.
Okay.
And somebody had come up to me and they're like, you just do the most. And I just really I already wasn't feeling it already because this event wasn't what I thought. And then you have people pulling on your energy and then got the nerve to tell you doing the most, but they wanted your energy. Yeah. I remember being like, you know what? You host. I'm going to give you the second half of this because the truth is this is not even doing anything for the community. This is giving very much, y'all just trying to hit a lick and make some bread. So here you go. You host the second half. Right. So I say all that to say that absolutely there were days early on where I was like, I really can't. But one thing about me is it's not professional. I never cancel, right? So I would power through and push through. But boy, when I would be done, I'm in my house. Yeah. Phone is not even on D&D. The phone is off. Thrown at the wall. Praise God. Thrown. Huh?
I'm done with her. And you know what? You have to do research on some of the people you work with, or you're going to be working for. Like, I think sometimes people get caught up on, hey, this brand wants me to work with them. Cool, I accept. And I'll give you an example. I had a brand reach out to me, and they wanted me to do a video for a backdrop. Yeah. For those who not know, I know some people are listening because they hear for some backdrops. Let me put it like this. Last backdrop I paid for was $600. Okay. Now, mind y'all, on backdrops, people are standing in front of them or stepping on them. Correct. So it ain't like this is about to be some nice curtain up in my house. No. Or a piece of art. Right. It's literally a backdrop, right? And so this brand was going to give me one. They were going to mail it, but I had to do all this social stuff for them. I accepted. Okay. I told them everything I could do. Yeah. I agreed to it. Boy, did they break every promise before that backdrop got to me. As far as like money involved, as far as like when it was going to get here, as far as, mind you, I'm thinking I'm getting this backdrop and so it's going to be here by a certain time. So I'm telling clients, look, you're going to be able to do this and that. I'm paying people to be in certain places. And that'd be the worst because you're pulling people in now. So now you can't, oh gosh, been there. And so if I would have did a little bit of research, I would have saw this is the problem they always have. Vet. But you know, vetting wasn't my thing then, right? So I'm just saying yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you need me? Oh, me?
I'm honored. I'll be there.
I'll be there. Look, they love when you say I'm honored.
Y'all, that was a part of my talk track for like once upon a time. I will be honored. And then you go in and you're like, why didn't I just Google? Why?
Why? All right. This is the part of the show where y'all ask the questions. Yes. And I ain't answering nothing today. We have a special guest here who will be answering the questions. Her name is
Ohavia Phillips. Happy to be here.
All right. The first question. Do you want to hear Russ' question, Brittany's question, or Drea question first?
And I'm going to be honest. I skipped this. Full transparency. I skipped this part so it could be an authentic answer. So absolutely. I don't know. I freestyle.
Russ, since you're first, bro, we're going to name you out. He says, when it comes to socials, are there any topics I should stay away from to protect my brand?
Ooh. Almost flip this table. Shout out to Russ. Love you, Russ. So, absolutely. Well, I will say this. I get so passionate. And see, this could be 3 different episodes in itself.
Come on. You can come back.
So, if you notice, and picking on me because I'm going to make it make sense. So, if you notice with the O Show, with Ohavia Phillips as a brand, I'm very apolitical. The truth is whoever serves the people and it actually works and they keep their promises, that's where we at with it.
Absolutely.
So 10 out of 10, I would recommend, here's how I navigate that. If you don't know the who, what, when, where, why, if you don't have your research up, if you didn't spend the time for real learning the players in the game for what is, don't touch it. You're going to be embarrassed. Don't touch it. You're going to be embarrassed. And let me tell you, shout out to my mom, because I'll never forget, we have this slogan in our household, another controversial morning. And it's a joke inside our family when I'm about to go for a topic. And it's my mom like, well, at least she got her research, but Lord, this is going to be controversial, right? So I would 10 out of 10 recommend, if you don't have enough research, if your research game ain't up on it, if you don't know who the players are, if you can't even really speak on it confidently without looking down at your bullet points, leave it alone. Leave it alone. You also want to leave, unless this is your jouet, unless it's your thing, but you want to also leave politics off the table a lot, because here's what I found.
Okay.
A lot of times people love you because you're the personality. Say you really do feel strong about a political candidate or something that's leaning this way or that way, you lose the people. Now, I'm all for it. Here's the thing, like, if you don't like me, feel free to go. Feel free to go. There's somebody who's going to fool with it, right? So I'm not saying do it necessarily for the people. But what I am saying is, if you're going to be touching on very sensitive things like politics, religion, things that are very, things that are very, very, and we can all name them. Y'all can ramble them off too, right? I think that you should tread very softly, or to cushion it, you should have a professional or an expert on the show that could kind of help you carry that conversation.
Absolutely. I laugh. When I saw this question, I laughed because I said, it's nothing more cringy than when you see people getting in trouble or fake cancel, however we want to say it online.
Yeah.
They say certain things and then they have to walk it back because they really did not know.
You didn't even do your research.
And it's like, yo, every time a mic is in your face, sometimes you just say, hey, I don't know, let me do some research. Let me come back to it. My homeboy told me something one day. I was telling him how I was overcommitting to everything.
Yeah.
Right? And he said, you could say, let me see.
Let me see. There's nothing wrong with let me see. Let me get back.
He said, nothing is wrong with let me get back to you. And he said, don't be like me. He tells everybody no. And then he reached back out and say, hey, I can.
I'm hollering. And they're like, have a good one.
He's the king of, hey, you want to go out for drinks? No, I can't. And then he'll hit you up an hour later. Hey, actually, I'm free. Because he'll do his research.
I mean, at least he's vetting, but no, there's also that side of it too, where it's like, no, you got to let some opportunities in, right?
He was like, don't be as bad as me, but I'm going to let you know. All right, Drea has a question.
Did I answer that? Shout out to you, Russ. But yes.
Yeah, so absolutely.
I did good. Okay, so Cliff Notes version is, if you can't speak on it confidently, just leave it alone, bro.
She asked me, am I doing good? What?
No, I love giving strategy, though. You know what I'm saying? And I absolutely adore y'all. So, like, I'm giving you the best I got.
She is a trip. All right.
Period.
Drea, she says, I'm a makeup artist. I have been asked to speak on several panels over the past 18 months. While I enjoy this type of opportunity, I do believe I'm overextending myself.
Okay.
Any tips on what to charge?
Ooh, Drea.
So it sounds like she wants to charge to limit what she's agreeing to.
Yes. Okay. So shout out to you, Drea. Love you. So the truth is with panels is 9 times out of 10 is not just you. It's going to be you at minimum, one other person, or at maximum, I've seen panels go all the way up to 6 people.
Okay.
Now, here's the truth about panels. The truth is sometimes you do not get paid to be on a panel.
Okay. Full
transparency, there are plenty of panels that I adore to this day. I don't need no check for it because the impact that came from that panel was amazing, right? Absolutely. So, Drea, I think, and you want to tread soft with this too, because you don't want to be known as the media professional, the makeup professional, the brand business that's always like, what's your budget? Yeah. Because that would get doors not only closed, but locked. Yeah. Locked. Locked. It's like, wait a minute now, you asking me about a budget, but I just want you to sew into our people. So, Dre, I think the easiest way to go about this would be to ask them, okay, well, how much of my time would you need? Okay. How much of my time would you need? Am I allowed to vend? Am I allowed to sell products? Okay, what are some of the topics? Can I get those questions, the theme up front? Because the truth is, Drea, you will find immediately if this is a panel you need to be on. So that will help with your capacity. Because if they're asking you to be on a panel, talk about, so how do we beat faces 101? Well, you know, you're past that, right, Drea? Like, this is what you do. This is what you're good at. And these are for all of them. Sorry. No, because, you know, listen, am I lying? Sometimes, you know, anyway, I say that to say, you know, you want to be on panels where it's more than what you do, it's who you are. You want to be on panels where some of the questions are, when did you get started and why? You want to be on panels where they're asking you for strategy and how you got it out the mud, but not just the got it out the mud story. It's like, okay, what are some things that you could sow into our audience that they can also do? So Drea, sometimes it's not always money, my love. I mean, literally, you're going to be on amazing panels and they will give you the audience. They will allow you to vend. They will allow you to wear your own stuff. Before those panels where you want to get paid, 10 out of 10 will recommend, here's an easy way to vet and like sift through. Ask them how much of my time you would need, and that will be all you need to know.
There you go. Last question. Brittany has a question for you. I'm so done with you. How do you stay so active on social? Literally, this is for me now.
It's for
Brittany,
you.
I'm sorry. It's from you, Brittany, through me.
Hey, Brittany.
From me through you, whatever.
Yeah. From you through me.
How do you stay so active on socials? Are you afraid you will overload your followers?
No. I'm not afraid I will overload my followers. How I stay social is I'm not always on there. You know what's funny, bro? If you really, really, really look at, I'm giving away the free game. Here y'all go. If you really look, technically, I'm not on there a lot. I'm just on there at peak times.
Absolutely.
And so it comes up on feeds a lot because I recognize my peak time. Now, here's where the gurus aren't telling y'all this, and I'm gonna give you free game. Everybody's peak time is not the same.
Absolutely. I hate them lies that they was been selling us.
Oh my gosh, did you know that?
Yeah,
I'm not.
I was in marketing.
Oh yeah.
I was in marketing for like 8 years.
See, yeah.
And I used to laugh when I get there at the job, they'd be like, "Oh, well, the peak time," and I'm like,
No.
I'm like, who?
That's not the truth, y'all. So, Brittany, let me tell you something. My peak time is not your peak time. It's not Gavin's peak time,
Absolutely.
right? So the truth is, the Amazing Familia, we be up early. So that's where I get a lot of the support and like, hey, oh, I love this song, or hey, oh, the comments and all the things. The engagement is my favorite in the morning. And if you really pay attention, unless I have a gig like in the evening, y'all don't get no evening posts from me.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, like, staying active, you have to be comfortable with what is your active. So, you know, some of the old heads would say, oh, yeah, I used to post 2-3 times. Well, to be honest, that don't work for Ohavia.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather be out in community, speaking at a school. I'd rather be,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, Brittany, what is your active? Are you a 3 times a day person? Are you a once a day? Okay, if you're a once a day, what peak time are you seeing? Or what is the peak time that your supporters are telling you they love, right? But also, too, what can you commit to? Let me tell y'all. This is the one that be stumping the greats. You got to be honest about what you can commit to when we discuss posting on social media, because social media should never be running you. You should be running it.
Oh, my God. Talk about it.
Social media should never be running you. If you are stressed about what you about to post, what you about to wear for that post, what you about to say in that post, 10 out of 10 would recommend you need a sabbatical.
My thing is, when I come across photographers, they see how I act, you know. And they see, their first thing is like, hey, I just get so worked up. I get so worked up.
Yeah.
And the first thing I say to them is, well, are you being yourself? Because I said, yes, sometimes I'm concerned about what I may be wearing.
Yeah.
But it ain't, oh, I need to go change the outfits.
No.
My thing is, y'all don't know this. Maybe some of y'all do. I don't iron my clothes.
Me neither. I throw it in the dryer.
Well, so sometimes I be like,
no,
okay, is my wife going to be mad if she see this on?
Out the drawer.
Look, so I be trying to make sure my stuff ain't wrinkled, right? Or my thing is my clothes wrinkled? Don't look at my head now. But my barber he gonna DM me and say, yo, you just couldn't get a cut? Like, you couldn't try to put a do-rag on before you got started? Like, that's my thing.
We might have to run this episode back.
Look, and so sometimes
it looked fine to me.
I hear people all the time and they're just so stressed out about social media. And then my first thing I asked them, I said, so why aren't you just scheduling your posts and getting off?
Right.
That's something that I always tell people. I'm like, schedule your stuff, hop off.
Yeah.
I said, get somebody. I've used to, before when I had my 9 to 5, I used to do people's social media.
Yeah.
And look, their number one thing, I'd be like, why? I used to always ask people, why are you hiring me? Because that'll let me know how long I was going to have that job.
So you got to ask them. I'm telling y'all, vet.
Look, because I need to know if this is going to be a 30-day, 3 months, 6 months, or a 4-year gig. Yeah. Just so I could just plan out what I'm about to do with your money. Hollering. And so some people, and I literally had one girl, she said, I hate logging in on Instagram. That's the only reason why I'm paying you to do this. And I said, cool, bet. You know what I'm saying? So I knew. That's
real too, you know.
I just knew in my mind, I said, I know how long she'll be using me for because, you know, whatever. And I've had some people say, I don't have time. Yeah. I don't have the energy, you know, certain things. So don't feel like, yo, I have to get on social media. And I could tell half of y'all with these long captions that's super deep that I don't get.
Yeah. Yeah. And That's another thing.
Thing
That's
that
another thing too.
Grinds my gears.
It grinds my gears. But also too, Brittany, and for anybody else who, because I also get this question a lot. You have to be honest about what you can do. You gotta
absolutely.
be honest about that. Like, I can't stress that enough, bro. Like, people think that social media is actually the end all be all when actually it's not. Remember, social media is just supposed to be a virtual portfolio. So yes, whatever you put into it, you're going to get out business-wise.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to be intentional, right? Because you don't want to burn yourself early on before you get started. And now you don't want to log on, it gives you anxiety. You don't want to write a caption because you don't know what's the right thing to say. I think you really just need to assess, okay, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to give? That's authentic to me.
Absolutely.
So if y'all go on my IG right now, I'm somewhere dancing. But that's Ohavia.
Absolutely. We saw you at Do-Rag Fest.
Period. Okay. Also, how could I forget? Shout out to
everybody.
the fine women. The first and the finest. Started at Minor Hall, 1908, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. But yes, I brought that up because that was my homage for Do-Rag Fest. But yeah, no, I think it's about being honest about what you want to do, what you could do, and recognizing that, social media is not the end all be all. And that's okay.
No, it's not.
That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So be yourself, Brittany. Be intentional, as what she stated.
Yeah.
All right, so we got...
Tell me, I want more. Wait, what?
I'm laughing at the lady in Texas who spit on the dead body at the funeral. That is honestly, I'm keeping the same energy type vibes right there.
Wait, could I get some context? Why are we spitting?
A lady is in jail because she went to a funeral and she spit on the dead person. And she was arrested because apparently there's a law for spitting or, it's not assaulting a corpse, but there's a law with corpses, like things you can't do to it, and spitting on it is one of them. She's in jail now. And I think that's keeping the same energy type vibes. I'm just reading this.
There has got to be a reason, though. When I tell you, bro, ain't nobody walking around.
Look, man.
Yeah, nah. There's got to be some context.
Look, and you know what? The thing that killed me for this was...
Oh, my gosh. No pun
You have
intended.
to do this at... I ain't got the little...
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll work on that.
Was that a morbid joke? Take that out.
Okay, no, it wasn't.
Was that a morbid joke?
Nah, you're good. The joke is this, for me, is you have to do that at the right funeral. You do that at the wrong funeral, you got to get in the casket too.
No, first of all, make space. Because let me tell you, ain't nobody... I don't even know why I got passionate about this just now. The disrespect. And I'm being kind because maybe there is some context. Like maybe that person did something to her.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or, maybe there's never no reason. First of all, never, ever no reason. But she possibly had a reason. It's given benefit of the doubt university, ladies and gentlemen. That's where I'm a valedictorian at. Benefit of the doubt university.
Okay, I like that. I'm an educator at YouTube University. I'm really not. Look, let me tell you the joke. I applied for a job on Indeed, right? Yeah. They called me.
Indeed again. You see
and
what I'm saying?
I'm not going to tell y'all the school because one, I don't remember.
Yeah.
A college called me and I didn't realize I was applying to be a photography professor at this school. And they called and I said, hello, hello. Hey, Mr. Bowie. I'm like, yeah. Yes. Who is this? Because now I'm thinking, oh, it's photography. And they told me they was like this teaching schedule. I said, whoa.
Wait a minute. Y'all didn't even call me. Yeah. There's some steps before that.
I said, just let y'all know, I just had my bachelor's. They was like, oh, no, that's fine. And I was like.
They said that's fine?
Yeah. I was like, oh, no. And then I was laughing. And, of course, I told my girl, who's now my wife now, she was my girl at the time. And she was like, you would be the worst teacher ever. I was like, yeah, because I ain't showing up at time.
No. It's given, y'all go ahead and do these packets. I'll roll in when we ready.
What was the worst job you ever had?
Worst job I ever had.
This is now a full interview.
The worst. First of all, I love it. Worst job, because I'm going to share it. Worst job I ever had. Dang. I'm not going to hold you. The worst job I ever had was no job. Because let me tell you one thing about me. I told you, bro, I get after. Also, I've had amazing jobs. So yeah. Shout out to BMW. I worked at Hendrick BMW at one point. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I was nice with it. I ain't gonna hold y'all. But I didn't want to do that. Unless I was taking it like GM level, I didn't want to do it. Shout out to Red Lobster. I was at Red Lobster. Oh, man. Oh, Red Lobster's my heart.
Y'all, I hate them doggone biscuits.
You love them.
Because my wife loves them.
I love them biscuits. And they actually really are like homemade. That's no cap. I'm not just saying that. We really do.
Shout out to the Lobster.
Shout out to the Red Lobster. And then, I worked at them 2 coffee houses and then Dollar Tree. But even in all of
You volunteered at Dollar Tree.
Do you see why I didn't finish the title? Dollar Tree. But, even, because I wasn't there long. But like, even with all the jobs I had, honestly, the worst job was no job. Because when you're an entrepreneur, that is a bad way to be.
And sometimes when you're in that, I was in a group chat, and all the photographers talking about how times is slow, right?
Yeah.
And for them, times is slow because it's extremely hot outside.
It is.
People are on vacation.
Yeah.
And I was telling my homeboy who had wrote me outside of that, I said, look, this is the perfect time to work on what's coming. And I never forget, I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne talked about how he got fired in Philly, and somebody told him, they said, spend as much time as you can with your daughter, because what's coming, you're going to wish you had spent more time with her. And he said, I heard them say this to me while I had no doggone job. He said, I spent every minute with my daughter. He said, a few months later, I get a call from Power 105. It was the Breakfast Club. And he said, I've been running ever since. Yeah. And so I told all those guys, I was like,
that's so good. That's good.
I said, look, this is the summer. It's slow. Time to work on your website. Yeah. A couple of y'all ain't got logos. You stressed that in our class.
And y'all, it's like not having a first name.
Absolutely. How do I know what brand was, Yeah. And so I was like, look, it's time to update your pricing. It's time to make sure your system, your processes, your process, everything is just, look, is it working? Yeah. Can it be better? Yeah. Can you be more effective? Yeah. And sometimes people just look and they soak in, I'm not working. And you do got to grind. It's ways to grind and to make it happen. And
can I, because literally that's the season.
Thing.
Okay. Thank you for sharing this, Gavin, because full transparency, I'm in that season right now. But for the person who is listening and you're in a season of work is slow, or it's not coming in, or the inquiries aren't really inquiring, what you're used to isn't coming in. Listen, I'm in one of those seasons. Be encouraged. 9 times out of 10, it's because there's a major project, a major network, a major person who want to literally partner with you, but the bigger the blessing, actually the longer the paperwork. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the bigger the blessing, the longer the paperwork takes. So you got to be okay with, in the low tide, just as much energy as you give high tide, give in the low tide. Because when I tell y'all, I'm in that season right now, but I can't even share because it's giving NDA. But if y'all knew what's coming, that's why I want to speak from a place of encouragement. I get it, because that was me. I was like, what? And not even that bookings and things weren't coming in. It was just, I'm taking a break now from my talk show. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because I miss it.
Look.
But something's coming.
I went on a podcast one time. I had to sign an NDA. I was like, what is about to happen to me?
Let me tell you, them NDAs, they don't play about it.
They don't.
They don't play about it.
Breathe wrong.
No, literally say their name by accident by saying another name on you. Null and void, we on you. At the house. What's up?
Look, I used to work for the Ritz-Carlton. And so like when certain people would come there, you couldn't say they was there. And I didn't see people get fired for saying the wrong thing. Yeah. I didn't see people.
What?
Well, I don't work there, and it had nothing to do with me. It was a guy, Justin Bieber had came to the hotel, and the guy recorded him coming through.
Now, come on now, y'all, that's 101.
Then this fool, look, nobody saw him do it. A security guard who he was talking trash to saw him do it on the camera.
Oh, so he was bragging about doing it.
Yeah. So he recorded, and the security guard was like, oh, you be coming at me at work all the time. I got you. Sent it to the people. Bro was up out of there. And so it was funny because, and I've seen other people do stuff with certain people, and it's like, look, you cannot say that you was here. You better come off better. You come off better saying I was not there.
Okay, can I say, because you be inspiring some gems for strategies. Could I just let me not say last gem. Can I drop this gem?
Drop it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you all to understand that celebrities, persons of influence, want to be in spaces where they are comfortable,
safe.
If you are going to be the type to have the phone out, always recording, always on social media, I need you to understand that's not for real etiquette.
Absolutely.
They don't like that.
Absolutely. You got to know how to behave.
And also, asking is still a thing in 2022. Hey, do you mind if I grab this photo? Do you mind? I can't tell y'all how many stories I have heard from celebrities like, Ohavia, I really appreciate you for doing this because I was X where and they did this. And I just be like, and then here's another thing too, bro. When they make those mistakes, you're making it harder for other media professionals.
Absolutely.
So now they at me, Screwface, like, wait, she ain't doing a thing, but I want to be mad, but I don't want to be mad at. So
look, and it's funny when they tell, yo, this is what happened. Like last place I was at, and you be like,
bro. No. And then it's embarrassing.
You be like, no, you're lying.
And
you're
then
like,
don't know the person.
Oh,
because
that'd
you
be
know
the
them
other
celebrities
joke.
they gonna say the first, the last name where the event was. They going
Look.
because you compromise their integrity.
Absolutely. And then I be looking at people, I'm like, you gotta relax. You gotta breathe.
chill.
And I learned that early on. Of course, I wasn't doing no photography or nothing, but when I was working at the hotel, we
Yeah.
would see people all the time. And
Yeah.
I remember the first time in my interview, the lady interviewed me, she said, who is some celebrities you would lose it for? And so I'm like, So I named like 2 people. She said, okay. She said, do you think you can hold it together? I said, no, I can't, because I need a job before this person. The person who I named was there my first day of work.
Stop.
And she looked at me.
And was like, what you about to do?
And then she said, all right, you good. Because he was right there. I'm talking about I had to go speak to this man the first day at my job. And she looked at me. She said, all right. She said, I want you to know now. She said, I remembered in the interview. She said, this person stays here. They have been here for 3 months. They plan on being here for the next 6 months. And she said, the girl who was interviewing you with me, she looked, that's why she cut her eye, because she said that's the first name you named, and we knew this man probably was going to walk past you during your interview.
Yeah.
She said, but now I know you good. And I was like, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I'm like,
listen.
and of course I walk with bro. Hey.
Look, how are you?
Yeah.
Well, shoot, my voice is always trembling.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, wait. These are my favorite people that boss up. Yeah. But y'all, please stop doing that.
Please.
Because I hear stories all the time on the other end, and I be feeling bad for the next media professional because they about to get that wrath. Please stop doing that.
Absolutely. Look, I want to thank you for coming. I want to say I appreciate you. I want to say I was waiting on when to reach out to you. I need to get some things in order because it was talks about you coming on over a year ago. And I was like, I got to figure some stuff out. I got to put stuff right because I want it to be right. I want to thank you for your class.
Aww.
I want to thank you for coming. She was in the parking lot. She did not have my number, but now she has it.
Y'all, okay, so I can explain.
And she was early.
And I was, thank you.
Shout out to the early guests.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk, because media professionals, they got lives too.
Yeah.
They got families too.
absolutely.
We got things to do.
Okay, Normani. Go ahead. I'm so done with you.
No, I'm just, honestly, any place where I can be Ohavia, I love it. And I just want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
I am literally fangirling. I'm holding it down though because, you know, again, what I said about celebrities.
I'm not
But
that.
when I tell you, like, I am such a fan, and I love that this podcast, it's more than just a podcast. This is literally a lifestyle. This is literally a conversation. This is like a community forum because creatives are so afraid to discuss things that come from this podcast. Like, how do I get paid, or what is the etiquette and all the things? And what you're doing is you are breaking down that barrier for all to feel safe and learn. So I'm proud of you, brother. And this is amazing.
Thank you so much. All right, before we get out of here, socials, where they can find you, any last words you want to give to the people. This is, you know, when the pastor get up, they didn't preach, they didn't told everybody to come to the altar. They get like that last little message before they end the service.
Yes.
So I need you to lead with how they can find you and close out with your last message.
Oh my gosh, I love you, bro. Yes, but family, at Ohavia Phillips on all things social media, OHAVIAPHILLIPS. That's actually another real quick strategy. Make sure all your social medias are connected so people can easily find you to pay you, but also so y'all can have intentional partnerships.
Have a
You know,
website.
I cannot not teach by
Look,
accident.
I'm with you.
But yes, Ohavia Phillips across all platforms, OhaviaPhillips.com. All things media. Listen, I just love y'all. One thing about me, I get this all the time. If you DM me, I'm DMing back. And people are actually shook by that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we should be doing this, right? Because
Absolutely.
when people love and support you, what else are you doing? What, like, of course, we could be doing 50 million things, but always take the time to send a heart or something. So yes, if you write me, watch Dear Soul, I will write you back. And if I could leave you with one thing, it would be one thing. Just one thing. Okay. If I could leave y'all with one thing, it's, here we go. Because I'm going to use this as an example. If I could leave y'all with one thing, it's spend the time to really sow into your relationships and really let life do what it do. So for all my photographers out there, maybe there is a person you just can't wait to get in front of your lens. Don't force it. Don't you do that. For all my celebrity interviewers, hosts, all things media, keynote speakers, you know where you fall along the line of all things media. There's somebody that you really want to meet. You can't wait. Don't you force it. Don't you do it. Because let this be a testament. I met this man at my lowest. He ain't know that.
Joe did.
He didn't know that.
He was funny.
Literally. I really was, y'all. I'm low-key a comedian. But met this man at my lowest. He really didn't know. But like what he left me with was When I can afford him, I'm spinning the block. And I'm so blessed to say I'm in a place in my life where finally I can have the look that I want and pay the people that I love and have a network of amazing people that I love, and I could sow into their businesses. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but literally don't force it. It's going to happen. It's normal to not always work with the first person you meet, or it's normal to not even to find out like, okay, maybe that person, right? Just let life do what it do, and the right people will be on your team. The right people will open them doors, but most importantly, you would get to collaborate with the right people. But don't force it, because that's gross.
You got to vet.
Don't get me started, because that's a whole episode.
Well, you got to come back.
Yeah, you got to vet.
You got to come back.
I would be honored to come back.
Look, we need you back on here because we probably broke down about 5 other episodes we need to do.
I know, because even when I was talking, I was like, oh, and that's an episode. But that's how good, that's what you do. That's how good this is.
Nah.
Because I be listening like they really be giving strategies.
I be watching you.
This is amazing.
Oh my gosh. Look, I want to thank everybody for listening, for tuning in, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram. I want to thank Ohavia just because she's amazing. You really are. And because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to show up here early without my phone number.
That's right. And I waited outside.
Yeah, I was like, I had the door unlocked. I was trying to hang something in this wall and it wasn't working. So I was
Y'all,
like,
I wasn't walking in until I saw somebody greet me.
Look, I'm with you on
from
that.
Brooklyn.
That's the gunshots. Had to get it off there. Anyway, and we're going to holler at y'all next time.
See you, family.